everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and I am fresh off the road. I just made it into Greenwood, got to my mom's house and hooked everything up. I'm here for you, and Johnny Litecoin is going to meet us on the other side of this. So give us a like, share this video, and we'll be right back right after this. Welcome back to the show, Johnny. Mom has a message for you. She said to let you know you're still her favorite son.
Thanks, Nana.
Just to let you know. I knew that was coming. So
thank you, Nana.
She's a mess. So how is it going there at the Litecoin fam household?
Yeah, everything's going good. We're doing good. Been a good week. MWEB's live, which is nice. So that's kind of a sigh of relief, I guess, that it was a successful implementation, that it was
they live streamed that too.
They live streamed it. I was watching it, and it was a little nerve-wracking. You know, they were kind of like nervous, like Charlie and David, and they were that was a really good live stream. I urge everybody to go back and watch that just to learn about.
And so if they want to watch that, that would be at the Litecoin Foundation YouTube channel, correct?
Correct.
I could find that and put a link in this description.
Yeah, we'll put a link to that, and then I've watched it a couple times, so I'll try to relay the message of what they were talking about and how this all works and how to use it. The cool thing is that we can use it now. It's live. It's not like, oh, you're going to be able to use it. You might be able to use it. You can use it right now. You have to use Litecoin Core to use it, which is running a full node. But that's it. All you do is download that. That actually gives you the most privacy, security, freedom, sovereignty to begin with. So I think it's good to at least know how to run a node and to have a node downloaded and ready to go.
Let's see. Here's the video. And then let's see, how long is it? Oh, they were on for like an hour and a half. Looks like they had a pretty good time though.
Yeah, they were having a good time. David Burkett broke out the whiteboard. I mean, he was going all teacher on everybody for a while. So it was good though. He explained a lot, and it's I'll explain how it works too and how to use it and all of that. But it's again, I definitely. So in order to use MWEB right now, you have to use Litecoin Core, which is that full node. So I actually encourage everybody to download this after this live stream or whenever you watch this. Reason being, there's a big reason why we want to do this. This gives us the most sovereignty. Say we're only using wallets that are mobile apps, and they take them out of the app store and they make it so we can't access them. You could be, not that you'd be screwed. You can still access your money if you have the private key, but it'd be a lot harder to access. You'd have you wouldn't really be in control then. You'd have to figure out a way to get your funds back at that point in time. So if you have a full node ready to go, nobody can take you offline. Again, you're the verifier of what's going on, which is really important. And You do learn quite a bit too by using that full node and sending some transactions around. You could control a lot with it. I was talking about it, how you can, say you send Litecoin into a wallet 10 times, Lisa, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go to send Litecoin out of there, it's going to combine all those 10 transactions normally. So the person you're sending it to is going to be able to track all those other transactions that came in. So that's not really good to begin with for privacy. So
No.
Litecoin Core, even regardless of MWEB or not, it lets you select which input you want to use when you're sending a transaction out. So you really have a lot, again, you have a lot more control. I guess equating it to driving a car, it'd be like people always say you have more control if you're driving a stick shift versus an automatic. You can feel the road better. You're actually doing it yourself. So I guess the full node would be more like the stick shift. And what was I going to say? So you could send an MWEB transaction to yourself from the wallet. So you could just go and send Litecoin into that Litecoin Core wallet, create an MWEB address, and then just move it from the regular chain into the extension block. So in order to use MWEB, all you have to do is send to a MWEB address. That's it. And then you're in the extension block.
And what wallets work with MWEB?
So again, right now, it's only Litecoin Core, but
on the Core. Okay.
Yeah, but you can send out. So I can send from MWEB in Core into an Exodus wallet or into Lite wallet or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because again, that's how it works. It's very user friendly. You can send from a Litecoin address to an MWEB address, and then from an MWEB address to a Litecoin address. It's called pegging in and pegging out. Now, the coolest thing about this, I was always kind of thought these private transactions, like how do you see them? How do you verify? How do you know it's still going to be 84 million coins? Like all that. So in every block, the last transaction actually represents all of the Litecoin that's in MWEB. So you see, it's called like the HOGX transaction. So you see this final transaction in the block, that's whatever was pegged in or out at the time clears itself out. And then when you're in MWEB, the idea is that you can send Litecoin around MWEB and nobody sees anything. It's completely confidential transaction. So
because it's total amount of Litecoin that's moving. It's not
you're
individual.
You're in MWEB, so people can't. There's not like they can come in and see it with that. They can't do like a block explorer on the address or anything like that. They can't
on the
track
specific address.
So you can't see what's going on in there from the outside, other than the fact that you could say, hey, here's how much Litecoin is in MWEB right now.
Total.
So I did a tweet today. This is the video. They're showing Litecoin Core. They just pulled up a receive address in Litecoin Core.
Okay, and I'll go to your Twitter and show what you were.
I did a tweet just about silver, and I showed a picture of some silver coins, and there it goes right there.
Okay, it says MWEB makes Litecoin more like silver than ever before. Now Litecoin is fungible like physical silver. It was like physical silver was in past centuries. A little history lesson here for everyone is that 90% silver was used in US coins until 1964. Litecoin is sound money for the digital age. Some call it digital silver. I couldn't agree more. Yeah,
So
that's
yes,
some of the teaching that Westwood and I do when we do our crypto 101 classes, when we do the happy hour roadshow. And we talk about how the comparison with the minimum wage in 1964 was 5 silver, 90% silver coins, which was about oh, that would equal about 20 something, 22 or $23 now, those 5 silver coins,
mhm,
which is actually not a bad minimum wage.
right,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
it's not that the minimum wage is broken, it's that our money is broken.
The
Um,
money's very broken.
yeah, and but if we had stayed in silver, it wouldn't be. And so now we can go with a digital silver using and still have the privacy
Yeah,
using Litecoin because we
and
don't
you
need the government spying on. The government hasn't always been involved in our money. That's the other thing that's really people. If people had zoomed out, like fiat and the government being involved, the Fed has is that's an experiment that hasn't been around for that long. We just are, you know, we have a small, narrow mindset of that. And I think you've talked about that a lot.
yeah. And this I feel like MWeb really brings us back to how money initially was, how like you said, Lisa, like the government wasn't always so involved. Initially, paper currency was claim checks on your gold or silver that you held at the bank. And then you just sent around those paper notes because it was easier than lugging around gold or your silver. But my point was with this was that silver coins, those coincidentally in that picture were all from 64. Um,
Nice.
so those silver coins used to circulate around as sound money in a fungible manner. So if I paid you, you paid somebody, they paid somebody else, that nobody was looking in and seeing what was going on. They knew that they were
Mhm.
said, hey, here's the total supply of silver that's out there. We know there's these coins moving around, but we don't know who's moving it to whom. And that's kind of like MWeb. We know the total supply. We know it's moving around in there. But we don't know who's moving it to whom, unless you want to bring it back in like I guess in the old world case would be like you want to bring it back to the bank and redeposit it. That'd be moving back from MWeb into the Litecoin blockchain, which you could look at that essentially. Litecoin is a bank. It's a modernized new age digital bank. It just doesn't have a CEO, it doesn't have hours of operation. It's a bank, it's a currency, it's a payment network, it's a lot of things built into one. It's just not a bank in the terms that we think about it. It's a bank that you have ownership of, you have control of. But essentially, it's a good bank because it's a digital, transparent, open ledger on that layer one. There's a lot of benefit of that. So I guess that'd be like when you move from MWeb back into Litecoin, the regular network. It's like you're
Right.
depositing back into the bank, and then whoever or whomever you want to see it can see it because they say, "Hey, that's your money in the bank. We see that now for whatever
Right. If I
purpose."
wanted to make a transaction that I wanted public, let's say I was purchasing a vehicle and I wanted documentation of title transfer or something like that, then I could use that on layer one. But if I was giving a gift to someone or having a private transaction, I might want to do that on layer two.
I could even see
Nobody's
use
listening.
cases of this in the future of like, when you go to do a mortgage, you have to show proof of funds and or like a
Mm,
refinance or something like that. With multi-signature technology, you might be able to like, oh, we need proof of funds. Okay, well, I can deposit some Litecoin into I have Litecoin. They say, well, anybody could say they have Litecoin. Well, let me move it and prove I have it. Oh, it doesn't prove you have it either. It deposited into this escrow account that's a multi-sig wallet. And then once the real estate transactions clear, in other words, you'll have access to it or whatever. Like multi-sig technology is really fascinating because that could be used in a contractual situation because multiple parties will have a private key and you'll need a majority in order to send the funds out. So I could see something like that happening where they'd say, hey, you have to come back into the layer one to proof of funds and put it into this multi-sig wallet kind of thing. But then as the Litecoin user, you may say, well, hey, that's a benefit now for me as being a Litecoin user because now I'm able to get this, obtain this financing or whatever that I wasn't able to get in the old world or whatever. So it's
Interesting.
yeah, I really think that this upgrade really is fascinating me. I like it more that I've used it and I've seen it. In other words, like I was excited about it when I first heard about it and everyone was talking about it. And I was like, yeah, woo, it's cool. And donated a few bucks to like the address they had for David Burkett or whatever. But I didn't really like, I guess I always have to see it and use. I say once I use it, then that's when I talk about stuff. I want it to be real to me. I don't like the hype stuff that I can't use. So I didn't hype it much. I just said, hey, it's coming. It's going to be cool. But I didn't hype it much because I was like, in fairness, I haven't used it. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I was like, just because everyone else likes it, unless I use it, I may not like it. But once I saw it and used it, I was like, this is really fascinating. I love this because it's like, it gives you the best of like both worlds. I feel like you have good privacy, really usable. You don't have to have exchanges and stuff, do any type of upgrade at all. If you think about it, you can just send to any Litecoin address from an MWEB address. So no exchange ever has to do any type of update whatsoever. And you can send from MWEB to that Litecoin address. Now, they may want to support it and say, hey, we're going to enable sends to an MWEB address. We want to be the exchange that supports freedom or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll see one or a couple of them do that, but they don't have to, is my point. So it's a cool upgrade.
Can you talk just a little bit about, you'd mentioned once before how this could be or is a way that people could, especially and I believe when they bring in CBDCs, that this would be a way that people would be able to purchase Bitcoin without having to go through a CBDC to purchase Bitcoin.
You'll be able to get it in a decentralized manner. So you'll be able to, in the future, I always say you're going to be able to do a cross-chain atomic swap between Litecoin and Bitcoin on the Lightning Network. So you could basically send Litecoin in, and out comes Bitcoin. And that's if the code does it, and there's not a company or entity that's holding the funds for you, code's protected by law. So it does give it that legality. Where things become illegal, where they're violating like the money transfer laws and stuff, is when there's a third party. If they take possession of the funds for 3 seconds, then it makes it where they're violating those money transmitter laws and stuff. But if the code does it, they've actually ruled code is protected by law. So if the code does it, then it gives it that legality. And that's why I say it's going to be where I'm even starting to see some maxis talking about MWEB. They're liking it. Maybe they'll see Bitcoin enable it at some point. So it's what's not to like with this stuff? I mean, it's
what I've seen is the minute they like it, because the minute they start talking about Lightning, then they started claiming it and saying, and they didn't give Litecoin any credit for it. The maxis I met, I was like, yeah, Lightning's great. Aren't you glad that Litecoin was there and that was how it was created? And he was like, oh no, I mean, that's not how that happened at all.
Yeah, This will
And
be
I
a
was like,
lot more.
what?
This will be a lot more involved to
That's how it
code
was
into
created.
Bitcoin, because you got to realize this is on the actual layer 1. This is just an extension block. This is the regular Litecoin blockchain. So they'd have to code this into the Bitcoin blockchain itself, where Lightning Network is a second layer. That's a lot easier to make compatible with Bitcoin. That was a much easier implementation. So this will take a while. So Litecoin will have a clear advantage where they won't be able to do that this time, because if they want to,
yeah,
I'd say it would take the soonest you'd be able to see this on Bitcoin would be fall of 2023, and I think that's really pushing it. I think you wouldn't see this on Bitcoin until probably like 2025 would be my guess. It would take at least 18 months to code it, because it took them a while to code it on Litecoin, and it would take them, I think, longer to code it on Bitcoin. You could do stuff faster on Litecoin, so it would because that's again what makes it to me so cool too, that it's because it's that layer 1, there's not a big technical setup again right now. To use it, you have to run a full node, which isn't the most newcomer friendly. It's not that it's that hard. It just takes a while to download. It just
takes the time to download it. Yeah,
that's really it. Other than that, it works like a regular wallet. But once this is enabled in like Exodus, Cake Wallet, Light Wallet, and just super easy to use, it's on that regular layer 1. It's just that extension block that feeds off of it. So it's
is there a good tutorial probably on the Litecoin Foundation YouTube channel for downloading the node? I would think surely there is.
Believe it or not, I don't think there is. There's not a lot of good stuff about how to run these nodes and stuff. So you guys could DM me and I'll help you out with it. But really, all you do is go to litecoin.org, and they have the link right there to download it, depending on if you have a Windows computer, a Mac, a Linux. So yeah, go to litecoin.org and get the link from there.
Okay.
There you go.
Guys,
you can see right there, download core. Yep. For Mac, it shows right there. Then if you scroll down, it'll show, it'll probably, if you scroll down a little bit more, it'll give you the links for the other.
There we go. Download. Yeah.
Yeah. And download core, not, it might give you links for Electrum as well, but download core.
These say download core. Download core.
Yep. There you go.
Yep. Cool.
There you go. Yeah.
And does that eat up a lot of memory on your computer or whatever then?
I mean, it takes up some memory. It's not a ton. Definitely not. Like, it's not like it's going to take up all your memory on your computer and you're going to have to buy it like extra space. Like but if you have like 95% of your memory taken up, it's probably not going to like work or whatever. Okay. I think on like Windows computers, I mean, you have a lot of memory most people aren't using, most people have a lot of extra memory and space on a Windows computer anyway. It's not like their phone where they have, so much stuff that's going on there. Yeah. And if you're doing, and actually it brings up a good point too. If you're doing a lot of crypto stuff on a computer, you don't want to be doing it on a computer that you have tons of files on and stuff to begin with. You want to kind of generally do crypto stuff on a like a laptop or something that you don't really download anything else on.
You're not out surfing the web on. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Great point. Well, I know we were going to keep it short today, but we wanted to talk about MWEB and kind of get everybody started on this and make sure they download a core node on a computer that you're not out surfing the web, and get them started. So
it's good stuff to practice too in a bear market. There's a lot of work left to be done. Lots of work left to be done. So I challenge everybody. Have you sent a Litecoin transaction ever on the Litecoin network? If you haven't, let's start there. Have you downloaded a wallet that gives you seed words or the private keys? That's called a non-custodial wallet. If you haven't done that, let's start there and do that. Another good thing for the bear market, get set up with more than one exchange. So that way when the prices drop or go crazy, if you want to go in and buy, sell, trade, whatever you have to do, you have access to more than one. I tell this to people all the time, like, no, I'm happy with just one. And I'm like, wow, you're putting a lot of eggs into one basket there. And then they'll even keep the crypto on that exchange. I'm like, oh.
Right. And this morning, my husband sent me a note that like Coinbase was having problems. What was it? Like offloading. Oh, no, I can't find it. Maybe he sent it to me and Mom. Instant cash outs to U.S. bank accounts were failing on Coinbase. So, you want to have those different off ramps and on ramps just for issues like that as well.
Yeah. 100%. I'd also challenge everybody to try to use a decentralized exchange. Maybe you, if you have never, so these are all things if you've never done. These are tools that if you've never done this stuff, then you should be thanking your lucky stars we're in a bear market, because you're not ready for the bull market and again, you're not ready to use crypto. You're not ready to use it as a tool of freedom. If you haven't sent a Litecoin transaction and don't know how to use a wallet and the price goes nuts, all you're really going to be able to do is sell on an exchange and go right back into the bad guy's system. That doesn't,
right. Or just watch it happen and sit there. Yeah. Watch it go past you,
which
is what we did. Yeah. That's what we did in 2017, 18, when we got in and we watched it go up and we stared at it and then watched it go back down.
Yeah, it's good to make moves when the market either pumps or crashes, and especially with the risky stuff that you guys are in. If it's not Bitcoin or Litecoin and you're in on stuff that's farther down the list or that's a lot riskier, a good barometer is if your coin's up big compared to Bitcoin in the last 30 days, 7 days. Really check that out. If it's up big on Bitcoin in the last 30 days, it's probably going to cool off. And your best bet is to take some of your money, swap it into Bitcoin, swap it into Litecoin, swap it into more of a sound crypto than the risky one. That's a good, I think, lesson for everybody, that it's not always people, that's a way you're locking in profit. You don't have to be taking money into your bank account as profit. You be locking in profit by getting more Bitcoin or getting more Litecoin. And a lot of people are depressed right now. Crypto prices are down. Everyone's human, but that's what they want. They want us focused on that US dollar price.
Right.
You really haven't lost anything. If you have the same amount of Litecoin or Bitcoin, probably you do. If you think about it in the crypto world, if you're watching this show, you're probably doing better than you were a few months ago because you've probably accumulated some more.
Yeah.
And it's
especially if you're running a node.
Yeah, and you guys are the strong hands. So if you're watching this show now and you've bought crypto in the last month, you're the strong hands. Money's moved from the weak hands into your hands, the strong hands. So that's the way, that's the way to do it. But if you haven't done all that stuff that I talked about before, be thankful we're in a bear market. Get to work and learn how to do some of this stuff. And hit me up. Like I said, my DM's open. I'll help you with tech-specific things for Litecoin. I'll help answer questions if you get stuck. That's the point of Litecoin tech support.
Yeah. And all of his links are in the description below, as well as a link to that video on the Litecoin Foundation, walking you through MWEB. I think Johnny did a great job with it here. But if you want a little more detail, you can go there. And then also you can check out how to download that Litecoin core node at litecoin.org. So you guys check that out. Make sure you follow Johnny on Twitter as well. And go follow me too, at Lisa Mighty Davis.
Follow both of us.
Yes. And all those links are in the description. So we'll be back tomorrow for happy hour. And then I have a treat. I finally got my Trek with 2K's video edited this morning in between the 2 interviews that I did this morning. So I'll have that up this weekend. I'll probably run that on Saturday while we're over here moving things around at Nana's house. And we'll maybe get Nana to jump on for a live during happy hour.
Nice.
Hi, she's got all kinds of things going on, but she wanted to make sure I tell Johnny, her favorite child, hello and have a wonderful weekend.
Love you, Nana.
She loves you too, Johnny. So, and I love all of you in the chat. Thanks for watching. You guys, please give us a comment and let us know if you are going to be downloading that Litecoin core node. Make sure you do it on a safe device, and make sure you do your due diligence and write down your seed phrase. Do all the things to keep yourself safe, and we'll see you guys on the other side of this. Take care.